riders, it's Josh from CycleHunters.com, and today we have a very neat, cool looking Ducati ST3. This is a 2005, and as you can see, this is a very clean bike. Ducati made a sport touring bike, and this is definitely something that if you're looking for a sport tour, it's nimble, it's quick, it's actually very comfortable to ride. If you're a sport touring person and you've ever ridden these bikes, then you pretty much know. But if you haven't, it's a welcome surprise. Now, Ducatis are known for handling and also their motors. This is an L-twin. This is a 992cc L-twin. It is liquid cooled. It's got a lot of power. It's got very ample power for you and a passenger. So as we get into this bike, you're going to see it's going to be, that's a used bike, so there's going to be some blemishes. There's this one right here. This little crack right there. Those are the biggest, most egregious issues that you can see on this bike. But other than that, it's pretty clean. Yeah, so overall, really clean. It's a nice bike. It's that really, it's good looking silver. A little bit of metal flake in it. It's kind of hard to see it. It's got that liquidy kind of a look to it. Now this one also has custom grips. This is a, it's basically a cruise control. It just holds the throttle in an open position, and it just barely does anything to hold it there so that you can move it if necessary. It's just going to be there so that it's a little bit easier on your hand when you're riding on a long trip. But again, you know, clean bike. Now this one comes with the panniers or the saddlebags, however you want to call it. These are nice because they are very sturdy. They're lockable. These bags themselves, you know, you can pop them off if necessary if you're going somewhere and you want to, you know, if you're taking a trip and you stop at like a motel or something, you can pop these off and then you can take them inside. This way nothing's sitting on the bike. Then when you're ready to go, just pop them back on. Lock them down and you're good to go. This has a dual exhaust system. It looks like it's an aftermarket exhaust, which we're going to hear that in a little bit. A little bit of a blemish right there. Not a whole lot that you got to deal with, but again, you know, it's a used bike, so you're going to have some of these things from time to time. And this one's no different. We had done some extensive work to this bike, and I'm going to let Matt explain it in a little bit. This also has a Samco hoses, which on a lot of Ducatis, guys put those on them. Usually the track day Ducatis or the race Ducatis, you see that quite a bit. But it's more of a high performance hose. A little bit of a scratch or blemish right there. One of the coolest things about this era of Ducatis is the Zeus fastener. I don't know why everybody doesn't use these, because literally if you want to take your fairing off, it's super easy. You just twist that, pull it out, you can pop it out and, you know, take them off, do what you got to do with your fairings underneath and line them all back up, put these back in, twist them, and pop it back on, and that's it. It's that simple. You know, most of the bikes today have, you know, just like these little Allen wrench screws, or a, you know, some kind of a screw in there. But the Zeus fastener is so easy. Just put it in, give it maybe like a 3/4 twist, and it's fastened. So really, really nice. Cool little features. How clean the brake caliper is. Just overall, it's a good looking bike. So for somebody that, if you're riding daily, you know, you're probably going to get to see good gas mileage out of this as well. It depends on the reviews that you read, but I've heard upwards of 50 miles per gallon, and that's probably not too far off, especially if you're somebody that, you know, if you're not cranking so hard on the gas, you know, you're just generally riding it around, you're probably going to see decent gas mileage. Definitely better than any of the cars and trucks for the most part. So let's see here. Alrighty. This has 31,567 miles on it. Let's see. You have a temperature, digital temperature, your clock, your speedometer, your odometer, and your little gas gauge right here. This has your indicators as far as, you know, high beam, low beam, neutral, your engine oil. This is going to be, I believe, your turn signal, and then like a check engine light in there. And then I would imagine, you know, these up here, if you're looking to do your trips, you can probably wind up doing them from here. Yeah, there you go. So that's your trip. Let's see. Yep. So you can reset it. Let's see here. There you go. Resets. So pretty simple, straightforward stuff on the dash. And then your tack, which is your regular analog tack, which I personally like quite a bit. Controls are simple. You have your enricher. You have your high beam, low beam, left, right turn signal, and ooh, that's a beefy horn. On this side, your on off, your hazards, and your starter. This one also has a little bit of a phone mount there. But anyway, so let's see. We'll fire this up. She's in neutral. And I would imagine I'm going to have to pull the clutch on this. So let's see. Nope. It would help though if I turned it on. Deep bellowing Ducati L-twin 992cc aggressive sound. Oh yes. Yep, that sounds so good. So let's see here. High beam, low beam, high beam, low beam. Yes, I have a smile ear to ear. That's what that does. Oh my goodness. Now let's do left turn signal. This is nice because the turn signals are integrated into the fairing. So you don't have a big stalk sticking out. It looks really good. Nice and sleek. Very modern looking. Here's your left rear. Then cancel. Go right rear. right front. And you can see also flanking your headlight, you have these little driving lights or parking lights. Pretty straightforward stuff. So there's nothing really frilly on this bike. It's pretty straightforward. Again, a sport touring bike, you can go pretty much anywhere you're looking to go. This could easily be a daily driver. So somebody that is, you know, going to work daily, you have stuff that you're carrying with you, this bike is easily going to accommodate you in terms of your daily commute. It is not a heavy bike. It is pretty nimble. As for Ducatis, you know, that's kind of what they're known for, and this one is no slouch. But the sound, just, it's a Ducati. It is the Ferrari of motorcycles. It's a sport touring Ferrari is kind of how you look at it. It's just got a lot of attitude, style for sure. And if you've ever wanted a sport touring bike and a Ducati, well, here you go. So just an excellent machine. It's a really nice bike for sure. So every one of our bikes gets a 48-point checklist. And what that means is we go over things like the charging system. I mean, oil and filter are basic things for us. We do everything that we can to make sure that this bike is as close to 100% as we can make it. Here's battery tender lead, so that when you're done your ride for the day, you just pull it into the garage, plug it in, top that battery off for the next ride. So we do everything that we possibly can to make sure that they are as close to 100% as we can get it. It's a used machine, but that's, you know, our goal. Now this also has aftermarket risers on here. You can sort of see there's like a little bit of an anodized, maybe purplish color on there, but that's nice because it gives you a little bit more of an upright seating position on a sport touring bike, so that you're not super canted forward. It's not very aggressive. The bike does look somewhat of aggressive because it is a sport touring bike. You'll want to have that little bit of a more neutral riding position so that you're more comfortable over the long haul, so that a 2 and 3 hour trip, you know, it's a little bit easier to do. Just a good looking bike.
Alrighty.
So we have Matt here, who is going to go over a little bit of the things that we had done to this bike, the extensive service. So what did we do to this, Matt?
Well, when this bike originally came in, it had very loud noise coming from the engine. So we concluded that the rear cylinder was shot, and basically it got another engine replaced under the previous owner's warranty. So it's actually kind of a plug for the mechanic's choice insurance that we offer, and kind of like not a paid plug, but hey, you know, they did a really good job paying for that engine replacement on this bike. So shout out to them. So if you're considering getting that mechanic's choice warranty, you know, it replaced the engine in this bike. Now, in addition to replacing the engine in this, we got a very low mileage. Do you remember the mileage, Josh?
It was a little over 3,000.
Yeah, it was definitely less than 5,000 miles, you know, on this engine. I think we rode it somewhere on the bike of the actual mileage. But got a new engine put in it, and while we were there, we also put brand new set of timing belts in this, and I believe they were Ducati belts, if I'm not mistaken. If not, they were True Fit, or they were one of the higher quality belts. So it had the timing belts replaced, the coolant was flushed out of this, and then just all the other basic services. So fresh set of spark plugs, air filters, they were looked at least, if not replaced. So this thing is, as far as the engine is concerned, mechanically, this thing should give you years and years of enjoyment, and you shouldn't have to worry about getting this thing fixed up at all, because we replaced everything that we could at the time, and and it runs really well because of it. I can tell you that. I put quite a few miles on this afterwards, and yeah, this thing scoots along pretty good. But as far as service-wise, we did almost everything you can do to this, with the exception of replacing the clutch. But the bike, or the engine, only had a little less than 5,000 miles on it, so you're pretty much getting a brand new clutch anyway. So that's what we did to it mechanically, so it should be sound and ready to rock.
Awesome. So thanks, Matt.
No problem.
Somebody's going to be one happy owner of their new sport touring Ducati ST3. And again, our biggest goal is to make sure that it is as close to 100% as we can make it. So if you're digging the 2005 Ducati ST3, give us a call, 717-273-1809. Now you can see the full list of inventory at www.cyclehunters.com. You can email us at cyclehunters@gmail.com. We have aftermarket warranties available, like Matt said. We have some financing options available. We can ship bikes, deliver them, whatever it is that we need to do to help accommodate you so that gorgeous Ducati can be in your garage. You just got to let us know. So you can just thumb the starter, put a smile on your face, and get going down the road to wherever you're traveling. And this is going to do it in Italian style. And it's got a great sound, as you heard. And this thing is definitely going to offer you years and years of smiles. There's no doubt about it. Gorgeous bike. Yep. So, until the next bike, happy riding.